Welcome to the Carmelite Quotes podcast, where we share Carmelite wisdom to encourage and inspire. Today, we delve into the life and spirituality of a lesser known yet profoundly impactful saint, Blessed Maria Candida of the Eucharist. She was born Maria Barba on January 16, 1884, in Catanzaro, Italy. When she was 2 years old, her family moved back to Palermo, Sicily, where she received her first Holy Communion on April 3, 1894. Her early years were marked by a deepening spirituality and a fervent desire to join religious life, despite her family's opposition. On September 25, 1919, at the age of 35, Maria Candida entered the Discalced Carmelite Monastery in Ragusa. She made her solemn profession in due course, and in 1924 she was elected prioress, and throughout her life she served as prioress and mistress of novices multiple times, radiating a sense of Carmelite holiness both within and outside her community. On Thursday nights, she could be found alone in the monastery choir, keeping Jesus company beside the tabernacle from 11 o'clock to midnight. Her influence was profound, especially through her love for the Eucharist and her numerous writings. Blessed Maria Candida passed away on June 12, 1949, on the Solemnity of the Holy Trinity, and she was beatified on March 21, 2004, by St. John Paul II. Let's now turn to one of her most beautiful reflections on her vocation and love for the Eucharist. Here's a passage we've translated from her writings during the novitiate. My overwhelming happiness of being in religious life, of being a Carmelite, a bride, after a life of desires and obstacles, close to my Eucharist, mine every day, surrounded by loving mothers, a carefree novice like a baby in a cradle. All this happiness of mine without the cross? No, it wouldn't have fulfilled me, nor would it have beautified my soul. A few days passed without suffering, and I thought, what am I doing? I'm not suffering at all. And my days seemed almost useless. It is in suffering and union that Jesus has beautified me. Always, between suffering and affliction, I get small pauses in which it's easy for me to perceive the work of Jesus in my soul. It's not just now, but for many years that I have sensibly perceived the divine operations within me. I used to stay at home and think that I could receive no more. And indeed, I received great graces. But I recognized they were far from the finer ones granted to me now. In solitude, I received the finest graces. Solitude attracts me so much. I hope to find Jesus there. And just days ago, I was saying to him in my cell, even in heaven, that's right, Jesus, even in heaven, I would like solitude. Me and you, oh Jesus. It was one of those rare times when his presence was perceptible to me, and I felt all the passion of that heart for me. I felt I loved him so much. You know, this reflection encapsulates Blessed Maria Candida's profound spirituality. Her happiness in religious life was deeply intertwined with her devotion to the Eucharist and her acceptance of suffering. She understood that true beauty and fulfillment come through union with Jesus, especially in moments of solitude and suffering. Let's explore more of her spirituality with an excerpt from the Office of Readings for her feast day on June 14. She wrote, "To contemplate with deep faith our beloved in the sacrament, to live with him who comes to us every day, to remain with him in the depths of our hearts. This is our life. The more intense this intimate life is, the more we will be Carmelites and make progress in perfection. This contact, this union with Jesus is everything. What fruits of virtue will come from it? You must have this experience. To live with Jesus and to live by his virtues is to listen to his beautiful voice, to his most loving wish, and immediately obey it, to please him quickly. Our eyes close, longing to find him again, to contemplate him in the depths of our hearts. Is this not the reason why he gives us Holy Communion in the morning? Is it not the attraction for him that remains in the Blessed Sacrament where he lives? I do not know how to separate the ciborium in the sacred tabernacle from the ciborium in our hearts." Blessed Maria Candida's life was a testament to the transformative power of the Eucharist. Her writings invite us to a deeper union with Jesus through this sacrament, reminding us that in the Eucharist we find the source of all virtue and the strength to live out our vocations. Thank you for joining us today on the Carmelite Quotes podcast. Share this episode with your friends and your followers on social media. You can listen on your favorite platform, whether that's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Audible, iHeart, or YouTube, and subscribe to get new episode notifications. Also, check out our blog for the entire Liturgy of the Hours for the feast day of Blessed Maria Candida on June 14. And let's reflect on the joy and fulfillment that come from a deep Eucharistic spirituality. In the words of Blessed Maria Candida, it is in suffering and union that Jesus has beautified me. Let's seek that union with Jesus in the Eucharist and find our strength and joy in his presence. Blessings from Carmel.